On long web pages, I'll show you how to add smooth scrolling to our pages when clicking on anchor links. Anchor links in HTML are written with the hash sign. These anchor links are used to reach another area within the page by clicking on a link within the page. In our example, I click the header 2 and it scrolls to the area where heading 2 is. Let's write the basic HTML codes first. Then, let's do what needs to be done for links. We will write them between the body tags. I start by typing in ULLI tags. As an example, let's do 3 link placements and place a tag inside each of them. By pressing the tab key, I write these codes quickly. I can write these codes quickly with Emmet technology. This is a feature that comes with Visual Studio Code. However, if you are using other text editors, you may need to review them and install a new plugin. Let's continue now. Let's write the addresses and the names that will occur in the headers. I add the words 2 and 3 here. The thing to note here is that it starts with the hash sign. Thus, it can perceive the points it will go to in this way. Now, let's save and see the result. We wrote 3 links here. Now, let's write down the areas where they will reach. We'll give each of them an H2 ID and write 3 of them, one for each title. Again, by pressing the tab key, I ensure that these codes are written quickly. We are going to give them titles now. We need to give the titles 1, 2 and 3 and their IDs, the names we have given above and the links we have written. I write 1 for the first one, 2 for the second and 3 for the third because we wrote these words in the links above. I save and check again. Now we will write a content in them, so the scroll of the page will appear. We will have the opportunity to scroll. I write lorem ipsum between the p tag. Let's not try to get text from the other places. I'll use Emmet again. When you type a lorem text and number, it will automatically output lorem text as long as the number you type. If I type 5 here and press tab, it will add 5 paragraphs of lorem text here. But the number 5 is not enough for us to give this example. Let's replace it with 10 paragraphs and continue in this way so that we can scroll the long page. What we are doing right now is actually this. When I click on heading 1, it will go to heading 1. When I click on header 2, it will go to 2. When I click on 3, it will go to heading 3. It may be working this way right now. But what we want is smooth scrolling. The smooth scrolling feature is for this to work. So there are some extra steps we will take. Normally, smooth scrolling works nicely with CSS. However, while it works fine in Chrome and Firefox, problems may arise with other browsers. Therefore, I'll show you the example that will work in all browsers. First of all, let me show you how to do these operations over style in Chrome and Firefox. I add the style codes to the page and add the scroll behavior property to the body with smooth. We can write HTML instead of body. Let's check now. When I click on header 1, the smooth scrolling is successful. When I click on header 2, there was a smooth scrolling to that area again. It can work like this, just using style. We can also use JavaScript if you want it to work compatible with other browsers and not have any problems. Let's make one more small addition. Let's put another link under the headings that means move up. Let's write it top and move up. I actually wanted to create something like this. I added an H1 with ID tab above with UL. My intention is to scroll the page to this area when we click on the move up link. Let's write a title here. I wrote the title. Let's even add this under other headings. I'm removing the style codes here for now, as I will show the other method that will work with all browsers. Since you can't solve this with CSS, we will solve it with jQuery. First, we need to import the jQuery file here. We need to call the jQuery file into our HTML page. I copied jQuery from JSDeliver and pasted it here. We will add the code below later. I will not write this code one by one. You can find it on my website, sanagraphy.com. You can find the link in the description section. A code like this. This code scrolls the page softly to the relevant area when a text are clicked. Let's save this and check it out. I click on 1. As you can see, it reached header 1. I click on the move up link again. When I click 2, it also got here. And I clicked 3. In fact, the result is similar to CSS. However, as I said, if you want it to work in harmony with many browsers, you can use this feature. But no, if you want it to work fine only in Chrome and Firefox, and I don't want to write that much code, you can use the previous method, the CSS method. You can also use this feature in single page designs. With this method, you can link the page to the menus and ensure that the page scrolls nicely to the relevant areas. That's it for this video. If this video helped you out, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.